Hey, this is video 2 in the Getting Started on Your Puzzle Cube video series. So, video 1, we talked about creating a new project file. We talked about how to name our parts unique names, and we modeled up this basic shape here that's going to be the red part for my puzzle cube. So, your puzzle cube, again, may look totally different. This is the puzzle cube I'm making. Here's this red part. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, it's called red part, Mr. Coleman, but it looks gray on your screen. And that's what we're going to fix in this video here. We're going to assign a material to this red part, and then we're going to assign a color to this red part so that when we go to start making our assembly files and showing how these 5 parts interact, it'll be easier to tell the difference between them. Okay, so I'm going to go to modify on my design toolbar. All right, so I'm going to the modify section and clicking this drop down. And the first thing I'm going to do is go to physical material. All right, now we are making these puzzle cube parts out of wood eventually, so we want our plans to reflect that. So if I come scroll down on this list here, I've got some wood options. Right, it said we're going to make this out of a hardwood. So I'm just going to go in here and pick one of these hardwood species. So ash, birch, cherry, those would be examples of hardwood. Fir tree, that's got that's got needles, so it's not a hardwood. We're looking for stuff with leaves. Jara, that would be a hardwood. Oof, we're getting into some exotics down here. So I'm going to go with, I think, maple. All right, so I'm going to click on maple. And then I'm going to click on my project. Right? And what I'm telling it when I click on the project is I want to assign maple to it. So I should be able to close this out now. The appearance didn't really change a whole lot, but now I've told it it's made out of maple. Okay, now I'm going to come to the modify tab, and this is where we're going to change the way it looks quite a bit. We're going to go into appearance. All right, my appearance menu looks like I must have shut it last time, so I'm going to click this little plus. All right, and then I'm going to click on my project. Now, down here at the bottom, I can search through. I can try and find some colors that look like they'd be red. If I want my project to look like it's calm seas and water, I can click on it and assign this material to it. But I think the easiest way to do this, rather than looking through here trying to find one, is if I click on the surface and then I take my little cursor here, try and move this menu out of the way so you can see better what's going on. All right. I can change the colors of it, so I can change it to more of a reddish appearance. Now, if you don't want red, maybe your project is blue, you can take this slider up top here and you can drag it over to different ones. And so for whatever reason, in the last step, this one got skipped, so I need to take this. I'm going to make sure it's assigned to all of my surfaces. I'm going to say remove. There we go. And now I've got it assigned to all of them. So I'm going to, one more time, go in here, double click on this one. That brings me into this advanced menu. And I can find a color palette that I think is going to work for this. So again, I want this to be red. So I'm going to drag her down here. Pick a reddish color that looks good. And then I'll say done. All right. So now I've assigned a material to this, maple. And I've assigned a color to this one. So I'm happy with the way this looks. I'm going to close down my appearance menu. All right. And then I'm going to go to the plus button up here. All right. This is going to let me open up a new design. All right. Now I need to repeat that same process 4 more times. So if I decide I'm going to work on the purple part next, right, in Fusion, before I start doing any design work, I'm going to click this disk and I'm going to set up my file path. I'm going to call this one purple part. And I'm going to make sure it's saving in the right location. It's going to save it in my puzzle cube project, so I can click save. All right, now I can go ahead and start modeling up my purple part. Once I've got that part modeled up, I'm going to come over to the modify tab. I'm going to assign a material, and I'm going to assign a shade of purple to it. And then I'm going to click the plus button, and I'm going to continue to model up parts until I've got all 5 of my colors here. So when I'm done, I should have an orange part, a yellow part, a purple part, a green part, in addition to my red part saved inside of that project folder. Right? So go ahead and get those modeled up to the correct size, the correct color, assign the correct material to them. And in the next series of videos, we'll talk about how we can create a virtual prototype in Fusion 360.